Good morning, dear children. Yesterday we started that what are the key features of the Indian Constitution. The first federalism we seen yesterday, and in the parliamentary form of the government also we seen in the last week. Now we are moved towards the separation of the power. According to the Constitution, there are the three organs of the government. These are the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The legislature refers to our elect representative. It means our elected representatives sit in the legislature department. The executive is a small group of the people who are responsible for implementing laws and running the government. Means that executive government only watch on the group of the people if laws are properly implemented in the country or not, and our government is running properly or not. That is the part of the executive department. And in the judiciary, of which you will read more in unit 3 of this book, refers to the system of the courts in the country, in this country. The judiciary department we generally found in the court. In the order to prevent the misuse of the power by any one branch of the government, the Constitution says that each of these organs should exercise different power. Means we can see if the power are used in not in appropriate way. So in this time, the judiciary department, what they do, they give the punishment of that particular people or that particular group of the people or department. Through this, each organ acts as a check on the other organs of the government, and this ensure the balanced power between the three. Means we can say through this, each organ acts as a check on the other. Means every organ check to cross check to each other. That we call the separation of the power. Then that blue boxes we will see in the last video. When only blue box we will going to see here. The most important is given that the fundamental rights in the Indian Constitution included, that we will see in the last video. First, the fundamental right. The section on the fundamental rights has often been referred to as conscience of the Indian Constitution. Conscience means that is the आत्मा हम जो बोलते हैं ना, that is the conscience. So that fundamental rights are the conscience of the Indian Constitution. Colonial rule had created a certain suspension of the state in the mind the nationalists, and they wanted to ensure that a set of written rights would guard against the misuse of state power in independent India. Suppose anyone misuse the power which they got, in that time that fundamental rights work. The fundamental rights therefore protect citizens against the arbitrary and obsolete exercise of the power by the state. The Constitution thus guarantees the rights of individual against the state as well as the against other individuals. That constitutions our constitution guaranteed their people कि we are in the protection through that fundamental rights. These are the protection rights made for the common man, made for the all people. Moreover, the various minority communities also express the need for the constitution to include rights that would protect their group. The constitution therefore also guarantees the rights of the minority against the majority. Means through the constitution, minority are protected here. Majority cannot majority cannot attack upon the minorities, and minority is safe in the country because of these fundamental rights. As Dr. Ambedkar said about these fundamental rights, their objects is twofold. Means fundamental rights having its object in two folds. The first objective is that every citizen must be in a position to claim those rights, and secondly, these rights must be binding upon every authority that has got the power to make the law. Means in two ways that laws are binding. The first objective is that every citizen must be in the position to claim those rights. Means suppose if their fundamental rights are abolished, so at that time they can make complaint, or they can go in the code. And second is there कि they must be binding upon every authority that has got the power to make the laws. Means secondly they can make a right, they can make a law for the safety of themselves. In addition to fundamental rights, the constitution also has a section called the directive principles of the state policy. This section was designed by the members of the constitution assembly to ensure the greater social economic reforms and to serve as the guide to the independent India state to institute law and policies that help reduce the poverty of the masses. Means we can say that fundamental rights protect the directive principle of that state, protect the directive principle of the people. Then this section was designed by the members of the Constitution Assembly. So that section who made the Constitution Assembly's member for give everyone here their own rights and protect to every person in the country. Now last point is here secularism. A secular state is of which the state does not officially promote any one religion as the state religion. We will read more about this in the following chapter. Means secularism means no one religion is promote promoted in the state. Means every religion having the same right, every religion is same before the law, that we call the secularism. Okay, so we will read about that in the next chapter. You now understand the ways in which the country history often determines the kinds of the constitution that a country adopts for itself. Means in this way we learn ki how our constitution is formed and which the things are taken there and which are the discussed there. The constitution play a crucial role in laying out the ideals that we would like all citizens of the country to adhere to. Means through that constitution, the every member of the country adhere to each other. Means they are stick to each other, including the representative that we elect the rulers. Just like in the game of a football, a change of constitute rules will affect the game. Indian constitution has been amended over the years to reflect new concern of the policy. Often a major changes in the constitution means a change in the fundamental nature of the country. We saw this in the case of the Nepal and how it needed to adopt a new constitution after it became the democracy. We seen about the Nepal also in this chapter, how it adopted a new constitution after became the democratic country. The different features of Indian constitution outlined above involve complicated ideas that are often not easy to grasp. Don't worry too much about this for the moment. In the rest of the book, as well as in your higher class, you will read more about these different features of the Indian constitution and understand more substantively what they mean. So, what is the importance of constitution, why they made, and in the descriptive manner we will learn in the next standard. Now you have to keep in your mind which are the three departments of the government. Then you have to keep in your mind which are the fundamental rights to us and how we can protect ourselves, and that basic things you have to just learn in this year and in this chapter. That blue box portion is remain. This we will see tomorrow. Okay.